sources of data. How do we get information or entities and attributes of entities? How is it done? How is it generated? Because it's very important, and in the days to come, all these fundamentals will be used to build. So let's move on to the sources of data. Now, lesson 4, sources of data. There are two basic ways data is generated across the world. Two basic ways. One of them is what we call routine. The other one is the one we call survey. Now, routine is something that happens periodically as occasion demands, and sometimes is taken without consent. So an example of routine data will be immunizations done in the month of March, number of COVID-19 cases, applications for visa. Now, this is done without you knowing. There are even places I worked on a project where they placed some cameras that were counting cars that were passing at different times of the day. So that in itself is data being generated. But this one is just as occasion demands, often automated. You go into a bank, you make a withdrawal, you go into a bank, you make a deposit, you are generating data. So it's routine. You rarely know it happens, but it's happening. So when you see some data sets across the world, they were gotten by routine. When you log into your Gmail account or your email account, it's data you're generating. You understand? Sometimes they even call it metadata. When you are, you're logged into YouTube, you were on YouTube for 4 hours, someone was keeping a record. So there is record being taken literally for everything. When you sign in every day as you go to work, you clock in, you're generating data. You're generating data. So routine data happens every day, often unawares, and it just goes. When you're visiting hospital for immunization, you're generating data. Second one is actually what we call the survey data. This now has occasion demands, and it's usually targeted. So we have household survey, census survey, usually targeted. And then, people go out and take some size of the population sometimes to do it, sometimes all of the population, but it's not something done on unawares. It's deliberate and intentional, and sometimes they fuse together this survey and routine data collection, because sometimes they want to try and see and check. So basically, that is how those are the kind of things. Now, under survey, we still have two types. We have the census. In the census, you are taking everybody. So I can say everybody in this school, go to a particular school, is application to education, with a particular school, and say everybody, we want to take all your dates of birth for everybody in the school. That would be a census of that school. But we can say, okay, let's just take a few students, 5 students in each class, and then take their average date of birth or find their average ages. So in census, everyone is involved. But in sampled, a select few from the wider part, not everybody is taken. And we use the select few to judge everybody. That's how it works. So those are the two primary sources of data: routine and survey. And then we have census and then sampled. So that's basically lesson 4. We've gone on this journey from what's data relationships, data formats, and sources of data. I hope you have gotten something substantial so far in